Hi everyone, welcome to Kendra's Vintage Kitchen. Today I will be doing another I Love Lucy recipe, and it will be out of this cookbook again. And the recipe is from an episode called The Gossip, and this is from season 1, episode 24. So at the beginning of the episode, Lucy's on the phone talking to one of her girlfriends, and Ricky asks, "Hey, could you get off the phone?" And finally, after hours of talking on the phone, Lucy finally gets off the phone, and Ricky asks, "Hey, why'd you get off the phone?" And she says, "Well, the lady who we were gossiping about came in, so I had to get off the phone." And Ricky said, "I bet you couldn't go a week without gossiping." And Lucy's all like, "Oh yeah?" And Ricky says, "Well, Fred and Ethel are coming over tonight." And Lucy says, "Well, my lips are sealed." And then she ends up walking away into the bedroom. And here comes Fred and Ethel, and Ricky says, "Ethel, Lucy's been getting a good juicy story about some gossip, but she won't be able to say anything about it because her lips will be sealed." And here comes Lucy out of the bedroom with duct tape over her mouth, and I believe it's Fred who makes a comment, "Oh yeah, her lips will really be sealed," or something like that. And so then Lucy ends up acting out this whole story about what gossip she heard. So Ethel gets the whole story, and everybody kind of guesses what she's talking about. And at the end, everybody's clapping and cheering, saying, "Oh, bravo, bravo, great performance." And so Ethel makes a comment at the end, and says, "Men also gossip." And Fred's like, "Oh yeah?" And Ricky says, hold on. And so then Ricky talks about this piano man that, is in his band. And then Lucy makes a comment and says, "We could see how long, either the men or the women last without gossiping, and whoever wins will get breakfast for a whole month in bed." And so the bed is made, and so next day comes around, or I guess probably a couple days have passed, and Ricky and Fred are sitting down, and they're talking, and they're both saying, "Oh, have anybody cracked yet, said any gossip or any juicy stories?" And they're both like, "No." So they both then end up making up a plan about how to break the girls. They come up with some fake story about the milkman and Grace Foster, which are these two characters that are in the series. And so at night, both Ricky and Fred are pretending to sleep, and then they say the whole story about how Grace Foster's run away with the milkman, and both the girls are listening because they wake up the girls, they're pretending to have a bad dream about the whole story and stuff. And so both the girls are all excited about the story, but they end up not telling each other that night. And so the next day comes around, and both the girls are like, "Oh, I've got to go get something from Ethel or Lucy or whatever." And Ethel ends up making it up to Lucy's apartment before Lucy makes it down to Ethel's apartment. And Lucy has Ethel come in, and they both sit down, and they're both kind of looking at each other, and they ask if anything's new, and they're like, "No." And so Ethel asks, "Hey, what are you making or whatever?" And Lucy ends up spilling the whole pretend gossip story to Ethel, and Ethel's like, "Oh, you knew the whole time." And they end up talking about it, and here's this voice coming from the furnace downstairs, and that it's both the boys, and they listen to the whole thing, and they end up coming back upstairs and talking to the girls and saying, no, you lost the bet because you believe the story. So the next day the girls then serve the boys breakfast in bed. But then here comes, Grace Foster's husband and the milkman. They're running around and, the whole fake gossip story is coming to life and it's real. And so the girls are looking at the boys and the boys are like, oh, I, didn't think this was real. And so the girls then end up sitting in the bed and the boys, give them the breakfast trays, and the girls ask for something different, which they ask for the eggs Benedict. And so once the boys have left the bedroom, the milkman is still hiding in the bedroom. And so he ends up coming out after the boys have left the bedroom, and Lucy pays him. And obviously then, the story is kind of still fake, because she paid the milkman, and she also gave money to the milkman to give to Grace Foster's husband. All right, so that's the whole episode, and I will be making today the eggs Benedict. All right, so I got all my stuff ready. Let's get to it. All right, so the recipe says to crack each egg into its own ramekin, which it calls for 4 large eggs, which I have. And then it calls for 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, and this is for the poached egg part. And then it says, in a large pot over medium-high heat, bring water to a low simmer and then stir in the vinegar. So I've got my water over here. Then I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I'm going to stir that in. And then it says slip 1 egg into water, cook until the white firms up, about 1 minute. And then remove egg with a slotted spoon and drain on a plate lined with paper towels. Repeat with the rest of the eggs. So I'm going to add my first egg into the water. All right, now it's time to take my egg out. Or maybe not. Okay. Oh, it looks okay. And then I'm going to do this for the next 4, or I guess 3 eggs now. All right, I've got my eggs done. Now that I've got my poached eggs done, and then I'm going to start my hollandaise sauce. So for the hollandaise sauce, it says prep a double boiler with water and bring to simmer over medium heat. In the top half of the double boiler, whisk the egg yolks and cubed butter while whisking constantly. Once all the butter has been incorporated, stir in the lemon juice and salt. So it says for the holiday sauce, you need 4 egg yolks, 1 cup of unsalted butter cubed, which is 2 sticks, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. So I've got my pot getting ready here, and then I've got my eggs and everything else on the counter over there. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds. All right, my water's ready. I'm gonna whisk my 4 egg yolks. All right, now that I got that, I'm gonna set that down right there, and then it says to add in the butter, and then it's 2 sticks of butter. All right. Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna work. Sorry about that. I need to change out the bowl, or else I was gonna burn my fingers. So, and it says to constantly stir the egg yolks in the butter. Right, now that I got my butter incorporated, I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then my 1/4 teaspoon or tablespoon of salt. All right, that's all done. Now that I've got all that done, then it's time to put it all together. So it says to toast English muffins and spread with butter on top. I will do that in a minute. But first, I'm going to do my Canadian bacon. It says, in a pan over medium-high heat, add the Canadian bacon slices and cook until slightly browned. So it calls for 4 slices of Canadian bacon. Mine are a little small, so I'm going to add it to my pan. I've already got heated up over here. Turn this one. All right, so all my pieces of Canadian bacon are browned up a little bit, and take it off the heat. And then I'm gonna put this all together, and I'll see you then. Alright, so I got together my eggs Benedict, and as you can see what it looks like there, and then I know it says to add a tablespoon of chopped parsley on top. I don't really care for parsley that much, so I will not be adding that to mine. So let's see how it is. That's really good. The only thing I could see adding to it maybe would be some salt and pepper, maybe on top of the egg. Alright, well I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to share it to all your friends and family. And down below I will put another link to this cookbook in case you want to get it for yourself. And I can't wait to see you in my next episode. Bye!